It don't have any description. It don't have any description. Where's my cap? Do you also wonder in opinion essays at IELTS we should address the opposite view and develop it? Or no, we just need to focus on our own response? If that's your question, you're at the right place. Welcome to IELTS Juice. We're going to assess an opinion essay this time. So come on, let's do it together. News stories on TV and newspapers are very often accompanied by pictures. That's correct. Some people say that these pictures are more effective than words. What is your opinion about this? So clearly, this is an opinion essay. And the topic, which is the first line here, not just the news, no, the first line here tells us that news, either in newspapers or on TV, they come with images, with pictures, something visual that you can see, not just all words. And some people believe that that's better, that's good. We love to see pictures more often, and that's more effective than just looking at some words and paragraphs. You need to say whether you agree with this trend or disagree. Now, whether you agree or disagree, you need to clearly state that. I should not, as a reader, I should not go ahead in your essay and start guessing that whether the writer agrees with this or disagrees. You should not put me in that position. I should not be like that. You need to clearly and confidently say whether you agree with this or you disagree with this. So make your stand. And then the way we shape it is important. So do we need to explain other people's opinion, or talk about them and address them and develop them? It depends. Let's read it together, the essay I mean, and I will explain why it actually depends on different circumstances. So the candidate's response begins here. These days, I need a comma after S here. News on TV and in newspapers is, bravo. The writer knows that the word news is uncountable, and we treat uncountable nouns like singular countable words. So we say water is important. It's like when you say a car is important. So we treat uncountable nouns as singular countable. Is accompanied by photos. Some individuals, it's a good paraphrase of people, believe that these images are more influential than sentences. Than students. Oh, no, not, sorry, I misread it. Than sentences. But I hold the opposite view and will, I don't need, this is repetitive, and will, delete this one, outline it in this essay. Okay, fair. It refers to the writer's opinion, the opposite view. So from this introduction, I received the clear understanding that the writer certainly disagrees with that statement. So the writer believes more words are influential and effective than more pictures, or than just pictures, let's say. All right, I'm on board. Everything is clear. Let's start the first body paragraph. On the one hand, I suppose that words are more important than images because of several reasons. That's a very good opening. So this is the writer's opinion. I understand this it's a quite a large paragraph. In this large paragraph, I am going to read about the writer's opinion, And the writer is going to give away several reasons. What those reasons are, I don't know, but there are more than one. So I'm willing to read. So all these sentences are going to support the writer's claim. Firstly, sentences could be analyzed. Can be analyzed. Why we use could? Can be analyzed, and it's spelled with the British version with S. The Americans tend to write with Z or Z, which could be more influential. Okay, so the first major supporting sentence is telling me that the analysis part of sentences is going to help us understand better. Let's read ahead. As people, I don't know why I keep receiving could. I mean can. As people can focus on words, I don't need this comma, and repeat them. Oh, in that case, I don't need this full stop here because this is not a sentence. It's a dependent clause. I need this together with the previous sentence. If they cannot understand part of it, if it refers to words, then it should be them. But if it refers to an article, then I don't have a reference for an essay or an article that people can read on newspaper before this. So this it doesn't refer to anything. If they cannot understand part of those words or part of the article, they could review it. Yeah, I guess that will be an article several times. Thus, I need a semicolon before this because what I can see after this, after thus, is a sentence. Semicolon before, comma is fine, this is good. After having understood the whole sentence, having understood the whole sentence means after you understand the whole sentence. This is redundant. Having understood means that you have understood whatever that comes after it, and now you're at the next phase. So basically delete after. This is a good grammatical structure. As I can see, the writer knows the grammar but doesn't know exactly what message it conveys. So I can understand the extent of the knowledge by just reading this part of the whole essay. You see how an IELTS examiner does this? They read your sentences and they understand the limits of your knowledge in English. This is one of those giveaway parts. It gives away the extent of the knowledge of the writer. It's it's a profession, it's a skill. The whole sentence. Those words can be more. Am I speaking Espanol? Hola, mi amor. I think this word was more. Apologies to our Espanol speaking YouTube watchers. My extent of knowledge in Espanol is that much. My apologies, but it's just a magnificent language. Let's continue. Could be more effective than images which have visited without any explanation. Those words can be more effective than images which have visited without any explanation. I think again there's a part of the grammar that I kind of understand, but I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I really don't get it when you say the images which have visited without any explanation. The images which have been visited without any explanation, I guess that's the part. Anyway, and you don't visit an image. You just look at an image. What is it? It's a ceremony? You visit them, you bring them flowers? I'm not sure. In addition, words could help people to be well informed about different news. I still have an issue with the word could. I mean, why could? Can. It's not just in the past. And if we want to be polite, this is not the context that we use could. Like you say, could you turn off the lights, please? Yes, that's very polite and that's present. That is the present use of the word could. But that's a different context. This is a different context. We're talking about some facts and some routines and some normal things that happen every day. So words can help people. It's a normal sentence. Help people to be well informed about different news. That is correct. That's an additional part. These words can, oh gosh, increase the knowledge of people about a subject which is not very clear. Okay, if the subject is not clear, these words can help people improve their knowledge. It could be understandable, it's a long word. Again, it can be understandable when individuals have enough information about that story. Okay, yeah, it can be understandable when individuals have enough information about a particular story. Again, that story. Which story? Let me look at the story. Which story? I'm not sure about the referencing here. This strategy about an image is not true because I have an issue with the word true here. Strategy is not true. I guess the accurate word, it's not wrong, but the accurate or the better fit would be is not accurate or is not helpful or is not very beneficial, something like that. Because basically you want to say that the strategy is faulty or misleading or unhelpful. So true, it's not the matter of false and true. You know, there's a difference between false and faulty. Again, let's continue. Because it don't have any description. It don't have any description. Where's my cap? Where's my cap and my necklace? It doesn't have any description. Moreover, sentences can mention a person who is famous and influential among the public. Because public is an adjective. You need the public to mean that the normal people, like us, like everybody, everyone you see on a metro station or on metro or on a train or a bus. So again, can mention a person who is famous. I mean, yeah, news usually does that. The news editors usually write stories or sentences about famous people. For example, the president of a country would change the price of oil if he or she has some inscripts on newspapers or a verbal statement on TV. I like that the writer keeps balancing between the newspapers and TV, because that's basically what you saw on the rubric. So news stories on TV and newspapers. And arguably, it's very hard to talk about words on TV, you know, because it's by design, it is more visual. than newspaper. But yeah, so there isn't much you can actually argue there. But I still love the fact that the writer believes that you can come up with mentions of TV and newspapers here and there. But in scripts, I guess it means inscriptions. Very formal word, very uncommon, and I'm not sure the context is correct. I understand the meaning. Not the best fit for the whole sentence, but let's see. I just needed maybe a little bit more development here, just in this specific part. On the other hand, although images can kill me, images can be more effective than words in some cases. It's not true in the majority of cases. The majority of cases. Okay, so now this brings us to the hot topic. Do we need to address other people's opinions or not? IELTS asks you to give your opinion. So you are going to focus on your own opinion all along, period. Now, you might say, okay, what about other people's opinions? The rubric clearly mentions other people's opinions and we disagree. It's only fair that we mention their opinions as well. I totally get it. Now hear me out. The whole idea of the opinion essay is for you to present your opinion throughout. If you want to mention other people's opinions or the opposition, you only mention that with the goal in mind that you go there, you defeat the idea, and you come back to your own opinion. So even the opposition must serve your purpose. You see, if you want to mention the opposition, you should not say, yeah, there is opposition. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. That's lovely. I'm here, you're there. Done. This is my opinion. You need to mention, defeat their agenda, and make that defeat contribute to your already solid opinion. That is not very easy. That is difficult. So I would like you guys to first just focus on your opinion and don't mention the opposition. In such cases where you actually see that the rubric mentions the opposition and you want to say that, no, I totally disagree with them, you can devote a paragraph to the opposition, but remember, you must go there, defeat the opposition, and come back in that single paragraph. It's very important. Anyway, for example, I'm not a fan of giving examples right after the topic sentence. It's not wrong. I'm not a fan. I don't like this structure. I usually want some explanation here. But anyway, let's carry on. Showing an accident can be effective because it affects people's feelings. But all news stories are not pertained, oh, that's good. That's a good word, to accidents, because we generalize. This is good. This is good. You see this but? You acknowledge that images can be strong and effective in cases, for example, in accidents. Instead of saying that, you know, the car was crushed or they had this collision and now they need to work on the chassis. I don't know. I'm just, instead of typing words, you can basically look at the image and get the whole picture, get the whole idea. Correct. Then the writer says, but not everything is about accidents. And that's correct. You see, now the writer defeated that part and say, yeah, I agree, but you guys don't make up a lot of stories. They're just here and there a few elements. That can be right or wrong. We don't care. We don't care. In the writer's world, in the writer's view, the report about accidents doesn't make up maybe 1% of the news. We are not in the judgment business. We're in the analysis, organization of a writing business. And for that, you might agree or disagree. You're a different writer. You have a different opinion, and your opinion is respected. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to say, oh no, there are a lot of accidents in the world that may be like 20% of the news. Okay. But I'm not here to judge that. This is not my job. My job is to look how the ideas are presented and analyzed. And to me, this is good. This is really good, sufficient, I understood. It very well minimizes the advantages that images have on news. For other stories, words play an important role in terms of effectiveness. This is good. This is really, really effective. Now I understand, yeah, words are more effective in the majority of cases because the majority of news is not about accidents. In conclusion, some people think that pictures are more effective than words. That's a paraphrase of the rubric. That's correct. Yeah, there are some people who do believe in that. While I wish we had a, I don't know, let's see. While I take the opposite view, I need a comma here. After words, comma. While I take the opposite view, because sentences can be analyzed and explained, as well as stated from a famous person who would be more influential. One thing about this, these three elements are the three elements we discussed in the first body paragraph here. I mean, firstly, then we had this second in addition, and then the last one, this one, the last one, moreover. So these three elements are sequentially presented here in the correct order. I like that. And I think this who is not correct because it says, as stated from a famous person who would be more influential. You want that person to be more influential, or you just want to talk about the news that involves that famous person. The news piece will become more influential. I didn't see that element, so I believe this is not a correct referencing. We don't talk about the president. I guess we need to say, comma, which would be more influential or which make the news more influential. That would be clearer. Anyway, 330 words. Let's look at the band descriptors. The task response deserves an 8, 9 in fully addressing all parts of the task. It had only one main idea, the writer's opinion, and the writer's opinion was there. Plus, we also talked about the opposition, and we defeated the opposition, so also that contributed to the writer's opinion. There was one instance about presidents I needed more development for it to be fully developed. That wasn't there. As for case of coherence and cohesion, you saw the sequences of events in the conclusion. I had some referencing issues. I loved paragraphing. The last one, the conclusion, is not 2 sentences. It's actually 1 sentence. And I'm not a fan of 1 sentence paragraphs. So it's not the perfect paragraphing structure. As for lexical resource, the majority of things I had issues with were one can instead of could, and the other one was the attempt to write complex structures, but the complex structures had more errors than simple sentences. Remember the part that I talked about the limitations of the knowledge? That's one. So this is 6.5. It is yet to become 7, but this is a very good sample for those who wish to get a higher score in opinion essays. This is one of the ways you can go ahead and write your essays. On that possibility, I wish you a lovely day ahead with your beautiful representatives.